أعزائي الطلبة والطالبات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم في درس جديد، والنهاردة إن شاء الله مستهلين حلقتنا مع كتاب المعاصر، وهنبدأ في بيج 22 صفحة 22. choose the correct answer، اختر الإجابة الصحيحة. والسؤال الأول معانا بيقول Luxor has a lot of interesting. One of them is Karnak Temple. Moments, monuments, directions ولا كورنرز؟ طبعا واحد منهم هو معبد الكرنك، فهقول monuments. اختيارنا هيكون monuments. احمد is a student. This means he is calm and quiet. هادي كده، فالولد ده peaceful ولا careless ولا helpful ولا noisy؟ طبعا هيبقى peaceful. You can see a lot of beautiful fish in the museum, bank, library, aquarium. هتبقى الإجابة aquarium. If you want to see trees and other interesting plants, you can go to the gardens. انت عايز تشوف نباتات؟ يبقى botanical ولا electrical ولا sports ولا balanced؟ طبعا botanical gardens. My uncle is very good at sports. At handball. Hardly, just, especially, only. Especially وخصوصا في كرة اليد. أسئلة الورك بوك. There was a lot of on the roads this morning, so Mr. Ahmed was late for work. Care, peace, traffic, juice. طبعا كان في زحام مروري، فهختار كلمة traffic. This machine does many things. It's very peaceful, useful, careful, helpless. طبعا المكنة دي بتعمل حاجات كتير، فهي useful. My city has lots of monuments. I like them very much. Interested, silly, interesting, ugly. طبعا هنا interested صفة وinteresting صفة، كلهم صفات، ولكن monuments غير عاقل، فهنختار الصفة المنتهية بالاي ان جي، يبقى interesting. I can two books from the public library in my area. Lend, give, borrow, leave. أنا هستعير الكتب، يبقى borrow. We have four north, south, east, west. دول ايه؟ secrets, seasons, directions, dictionaries. طبعا دول اتجاهات، فهقول directions. I am interested in animals. interested in يجي بعدها يا اما noun يا اما verb plus ing. فهو بيقول ان هو مهتم بالحيوانات. So I love going to the natural museum. Geography, math, science, history. طبعا science. Lake Timsah is a beautiful lake, beaches around it, with of from to. طبعا with beaches، بشواطئ حولها. رحمة has read 12 short stories. Round, around, rounded, bound. طبعا round, around, rounded, bound. يبقى رحمة has read around، حوالي. Judy always goes in the pool. Swim, to swim, swam, swimming. طبعا go يجي بعدها verb plus ing، يبقى swimming. The Nile throws the city of Banham. Walks, flies, runs, swims. طبعا the Nile runs، يجري. Adam to his work late yesterday. Arrived, got, reached, found. طبعا هو وصل الشغل. وصل تنفع arrived ولكن ما بيجيش بعدها to، وتنفع reached ولكن ما بيجيش بعدها حرف جر، وتنفع get ويجي بعدها to، يبقى دي الإجابة الصحيحة. Choose the correct answer. The word peaceful can be replaced by ugly and dirty, calm and quiet, quiet and dirty, ugly and calm. طبعا calm and quiet. There are attractive buildings, interesting monuments, and lots of gardens. The word attractive means معناها ايه؟ Not good, dirty, beautiful, ugly. طبعا beautiful. The word can be the opposite of boring. عكس كلمة boring. Near, interested, excited, interesting. طبعا interesting. طيب وليه ما نختارش interested أو excited؟ لأن يا شباب interesting هي الصفة اللي عكسها بورينج، والاثنين منتهين باي ان جي فيصف الاشياء. اما الصفات المنتهية باي دي فدي بتصف الاشخاص. I am bored انا شاعر بالملل، لكن the film is boring يبقى هنا الفيلم شيء فهقول boring، انما انا كشخص يبقى bored. You can make an adjective from the verb use by adding. نصنع منه بقى الفعل اللي اسمه use ده، نصنع منه صفة من خلال إضافة إيه؟ AL ولا FUL ولا LE ولا TION. طبعا useful ف FUL. You can form the word peaceful from the noun، يعني الاسم من peaceful. base ولا peace ولا back ولا pass. طبعا peace. To give the opposite of the word natural we add the prefix، بنضيف لها this natural ولا unnatural ولا irnatural ولا natural. طبعا unnatural غير طبيعي. Choose the correct answer. The shopping center is the train station. Straight corner opposite next. طبعا هي opposite. طبعا ما تنفعش next، لا لان next عايزه to فاقول next to. The theater the aquarium and خلي بالك هنا عندي and the museum. مين اللي بيجي معاها and؟ هي كلمة between كذا and كذا. I get up 9 o'clock every day. ساعة يبقى at قبل الساعات. I often play games with my cousins. Afternoon يبقى at on in from. طبعا in the afternoon. Saturdays I like to stay at home. On at from into. طبعا on Saturdays. From student book هو من كتاب الطالب. تعال نشوف السؤال الأول. The museum is the corner opposite the hospital. In on next between. طبعا on the corner. On the corner يعني على الناصية. I always go to the park Saturday mornings. On off at in. طبعا on Saturday. Lunch time I visit my cousins. On in at over. طبعا at lunch time. The sports center is the aquarium and the hospital. خلاص between قلناها قبل كده. She usually gets up 8:30. دي ساعة يبقى at قبل الساعات. Lucy was standing the right of the picture. On the right على يمين الصورة. On the right. From the station go straight on for about 10 meters. Go straight on. I did the crossword 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. في 5 دقايق. They like to visit الأقصر in winter لأنها فصل من فصول السنة. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in brackets. Fadi goes shopping on the afternoon. لا أقول in the afternoon. Right, what do you do on the weekend? On the weekend. The library is opposite to the bank. لا أقول next to the bank. On Saturdays. On Saturdays. On لأن on قبل الأيام. They travel to Dahab on holiday. On holiday. He is not here at the moment. At the moment. My house is on the of the street corner. On the top of the street corner. Farmers usually start working at dawn. At dawn. Clothes were very different in the 18th century. The bus arrives in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. Complete the following dialogue. Hamza is asking Ali about the sports center. Hamza, hello, is the sports center near from here? يا ترى المركز الرياضي قريب من هنا؟ فقال له hello وجاوب عليه. It's a 5-minute walk. 5 دقايق ماشي. يبقى هنا قال له yes ولا no؟ قال له yes it is. فسأله سؤال تاني قال له yes. وطبعا قلنا لما يكون الإجابة بيس بقدم المساعد على الفعل، أو إحنا عايزين سؤال بفعل مساعد. walk along this road it's opposite the bank. فهيقول له ايه؟ can you give me directions. can you give me directions. تقدر تقول لي الاتجاهات، تقدر تقول لي امشي ازاي. فقال له ايه الاتجاهات. فبعد كده سأله سؤال، قال له I play tennis. What about you؟ فهيقول له What do you play؟ What do you play؟ ماذا تلعب؟ What about you؟ وانت بتلعب ايه؟ قال له I like swimming. انا بحب السباحة. فحمزة قال له swimming is a nice sport. When do you go there؟ وانت هتروح امتى؟ قال له next Monday. Next Monday. Number 2, choose the correct answer. We had a nice meal at this last week. تناول وجبة يبقى هيكون في المطعم restaurant. My father often goes to his village because it's a place. بيروح القرية كده عشان يسترخي، فده مكان peaceful. Is large area of water with land around it. Sea, river, lake, pond. Is a large area of water. مكان كبير قوي من المية، يبقى دي البحيرة فهقول عليها lake. Manar is interested in watching English movies. The cafe is on the corner, the botanical gardens. On the corner, the botanical gardens. 4 of down up. The corner of. There are lots of things to do here, especially at weekend. You can see trees and another interesting plants at botanical garden. The train leaves at 7. My birthday is on. طب ليه on؟ علشان ده يوم 17 يونيو. The train leaves in 5 minutes. خلال in في خلال 5 دقائق. Complete the text with the words from the list. من القائمة اللي قدامك دي هنكمل القطعة الجميلة بتاعتنا. الكلمات هي beaches, kitchens, peaceful weekend lake. I like إسماعيلية. It's a peaceful city. مدينة هادئة. There are lots of things to do there, especially at the weekend. On Friday afternoons, I often go to Lake Timsah with my family. It's a beautiful lake with beaches around it. Complete the sentences with correct form. يعني أكمل بالصيغة المناسبة أو الصحيحة للكلمة التي بين الأقواس. I live in a small village. وليس on. يبقى in a small village. Judy goes to the sports center in the afternoon. In the afternoon. I have tennis lessons at 9 p.m. The shopping center is next to the station. Choose the correct answer. I live in ولا on a small village؟ لا، قلنا in a small village. Nagwa usually visits her grandparents in the weekends ولا at the weekends؟ طبعا هنختار at، وهنا هنختار ايه؟ هنختار in. You can't hear any traffic here. It's very noisy ولا peaceful؟ طبعا هي peaceful. وهنا بيقول لك اكتب لي عن اسماعيلية paragraph about 110 words. Choose the correct answer. I think traveling by train is it's my favorite. يبقى هو comfortable. ده بيحبه. If you go to the space today, you will learn about the science of space. طبعا exception. Exception يعني عرض. During the train journey, we can see crossing the Nile. مين اللي بيعبر النيل؟ طبعا ferries. المعديات. Must book tickets before getting on the train. طبعا مين اللي هيحجز التذاكر؟ Passengers. الركاب. Lots of people in Alexandria use the train. بيستخدموا الترماي. That is between two mountains. Valley. الوادي هو بين جبلين. You can use the to travel in a city. Sometimes it travels underground. طبعا ده مترو عشان في تحت الأرض. طب ما نقولش ليه الترام؟ لأن الترام ما بينزلش تحت الأرض. You can use to find when a train or bus leaves. Use timetable. جدول المواعيد. Trains, buses, and ferries are types of transport. دي أشكال للنقل. A train uses to move. بيستخدم rails rules. طبعا بيستخدم rails. Cities are always polluted, free, busy, empty, peaceful. دايما فيها تلوث يبقى busy cities. Dina is hurrying to the bus to school, to catch the bus عشان تلحق اتوبيس المدرسة. Milk is good, building strong bodies is good for. Which is your flat on? Which floor في أي طابق? It's important regularly. It's important to والمصدر يبقى to exercise. أنت تتدرب بانتظام. How can we get to the Egyptian Museum? كيف نصل إلى المتحف المصري؟ The antonym of the word leave عكس كلمة leave is to arrive, drive, ride, dry. طبعا arrive. The word peaceful and noise are opposites, equals ولا prefixes؟ طبعا هم عكس بعض يبقى opposite. When something isn't good for the environment then it's مش كويسة يبقى polluting ملوثة. The antonym of the word nearest is عكس nearest يبقى farthest. furthest يعني الأبعد. We can form an adjective when we add كذا to the word interest. أحولها لصفة يبقى interesting. The word engineering is an preposition verb noun verb. adverb طبعا دي noun الهندسة. بعد كده التدريب او على الكتاب من كتاب الطالب من كتاب التدريبات في الستودنت بوك والورك بوك. فتعال نشوف what time does the lesson does يبقى مصدر فهقول start. when this plane arrive in Cairo. arrive وبلان طائرة يبقى does. which metro station they need to go to. which metro station do they need. The train in الأقصر at 23 and 15 يبقى arrives. طب ليه اخترنا arrives؟ علشان ده جدول مواعيد، فجدول المواعيد دايما في الايه؟ في المضارع البسيط. Does the journey take by bus؟ كم تستغرق؟ يبقى how long. I to go to الأقصر. What time does the bus leave؟ I wanted to know. أنا عايز أعرف. He misses the bus to work. He never misses. طب ما تنفعش doesn't؟ لا تنفع بس ما يكونش فيه هنا اس يبقى he doesn't miss. هبة travel in a car or in a taxi. does هبة does هبة. It's an hour before the exhibition starts. starts How many stops are there? Does a ferry take people across the desert? Does. The train usually takes. What time does the film start? Ahmed's uncle never comes late. Where does Ayman and Ashraf? Where do? What is the best place? We usually travel by train to Aswan. Complete the following dialogue. أكمل هذا الحوار. أدهم suggests going to the space exception. أدهم shall we go to the space exception؟ فقال له أدهم قال له سؤال فقال له we can go tomorrow morning. يبقى هنا وافق فقال له it's a good idea. فنمبر 1 it's a good idea. فسأله سؤال when can we go؟ when can we go؟ متى نستطيع الذهاب؟ فقال له tomorrow morning، بكره الصبح ان شاء الله. فأدهم قال له where will we meet؟ امتى او فين هنتقابل؟ قال له okay I will wait in front of the science museum. يبقى هيقول له we will meet in front of the science museum. فسأله سؤال قال له no I don't think عمر will come with us. يبقى هيقول له هنا سؤال بفعل مساعد لأن الإجابة كانت بيس ونو. فهيقول له do you think عمر will come with us؟ do you think عمر will come with us؟ فعلي قال له why؟ قال له because he is ill. because he is ill. طب ليه اخترنا he is ill؟ لأن هو جايبها هو وعامل عليها علامة تعجب. فدايما دي بتبقى الإجابة اللي فوق. أما عن exercise 2 فبيقول choose the correct answer. my journey to Port Said about 4 hours. يبقى takes تستغرق. What about going to the space exhibition? gives the opposite meaning of hide. يبقى show يعرض يخفي. I like traveling on this train because it's comfortable. مريح. After leaving this secondary school, my brother went to the university. هيروح الجامعة إن شاء الله. That shows how to travel by metro. The map. الخريطة دي بتقول لنا إزاي نسافر بالمترو. The opposite of interesting is boring. When is the film starting? The film is starting. The film starts. Does the film start? When does the film start? The library closes يعني تغلق. The plane at الأقصر airport at 23 and 5 p.m. يبقى the plane lands. طب وليه قلنا lands مضارع بسيط؟ عشان ده جدول مواعيد. Complete with the words environment with travel top electric. The tram is one of the most famous types of transport in Alexandria. Lots of people use it to travel around the city. To travel around the city. Trams are electric, so they are better for the environment than other types of transport. Some of the trams in Alexandria have 2 floors. I like sitting in the top, at the top and watching the streets below. أما السؤال الثالث complete the sentence with the correct form يعني الشكل الصحيح. My Arabic lesson starts. Port Said train reaches. When does this plane arrive? طب ليه قلنا arrive؟ علشان في does بجيب المصدر. My father doesn't take the early bus. Doesn't take. Choose the correct answer. اختر الإجابة الصحيحة. No one liked Adil's about his the trip. All his friends disagreed. يبقى محدش وافق على اقتراحه. I need comfortable shoes because I am going to walk outdoors. My mother has some beautiful which she got from her mother jewelry. The children played today because it was very hot outside. يبقى هم played indoors. Hisham was born in 1981, which was in the last century. Be careful in the shop. It sells which breaks easily. sells pottery. فخار بيتكسر بسرعة. We need to meet up. We need to arrange. احنا عايزين نرتب ازاي هنتقابل بكرة أو الأسبوع اللي جاي. My friend Ali made to his sister's wedding party. دعاني يبقى invited يدعو. You should speak to all people politely. بأدب. تتكلم بأدب مع كبار السن. Is a person who works in a garden as a job. يبقى gardener. عامل الحديقة. My final decision is to join the faculty of arts. يبقى كلية الآداب. يبقى هياخد قراره الأخير decision. What time are we going to meet up tomorrow? نتقابل امتى بكرة؟ Thank you for asking about or for asking me to come to the party. Which computer game would you like to play? تمام. الأسئلة كلها سهلة وبسيطة. The decision my brother has wasn't easy. Has made. My mother found the bakery closed. لا اشتريت عيش طازة يبقى open مفتوح. The synonym of politely. synonym يعني المعنى. politely معنى politely is hardly, impolitely, excitedly, kindly. The word outdoor is the opposite of indoor. Memorize has the same meaning of remember. نفس المعنى. The noun north can be an adjective by adding نقدر نحولها لصفة لما نضيف لها ERN يبقى northern. To make the negative form of politely عشان نحولها ل negative فهنقول impolite. Choose the correct answer. Don't you come to my house. Why don't? About the park. How about? What time shall we come? Why don't we meet? What about? What Reem like to see? What would Reem like to see? Would you like to والمصدر would you like to drink? Why don't we? Why don't we? لما لا؟ I would prefer to والمصدر يبقى to drink. It would be nice. What about having a cup of tea? Complete with the correct form. About the museum. How about or what about? I'd prefer to go. I think it would be nice. Where would you like to go? Let's have dinner. Let's يجي بعدها مصدر. They prefer reading. Shall we play in the garden? Shall we والفعل في المصدر. Complete the following dialogue. أكمل هذا الحوار. أول من سيدة بتتكلم مع البوكينج كلارك يعني موظف التذاكر عايزة تحجز تذكرة at the train station في محطة القطر is asking about the train to إسماعيلية. بتسأل على القطار المتوجه إلى الإسماعيلية. What time does the next train to إسماعيلية leave? قال له it leaves in 10 minutes خلال 10 دقائق. فقالت له how long does it take وكم يستغرق. How long does it take فقال له it takes 2 hours. Can I book a ticket فهيقول لها sure. فسألته سؤال how much is it كم سعرها how much is it فقال لها 70 جنيه. فقالت له here you are. فقال لها thank you here is your ticket. here you are يعني تفضل الفلوس بتاعتك. choose the correct answer. We could go to a nearby for lunch. هنتغدى كافيه. Shady bought some pottery a lovely shop from اشترى من. The metro is one of the most comfortable means so I often take it. Comfortable. عمرو made a suggestion. عمل اقتراح. is a period of 100 years ده century القرن 100 عام. what about أو how about علشان كده ما يجيبهمش الاتنين مع بعض فقال لي what about. chess is an indoor وهنا ما ينفعش يقول indoors لأن indoors حال لكن indoor game. indoor يجي بعدها noun اهو game. let's take يجي بعدها مصدر. shall we go to the zoo shall we. Thank you for asking. for والفعل زائد ing. تعال نكمل بالكلمات المناسبة. I am looking forward to. أنا أتطلع إلى our trip to الأورمان garden. It opens at 9. It takes an hour to get there. لكي نصل إلى هناك. The online reviews يعني المقالات النقدية عن الجديد عن الأورمان is fantastic. The garden is very big and there is lots to see. في حاجات كتير نقدر نشوفها هناك. Make sure that you wear comfortable shoes. أما بعد كده بيقول لي complete with the correct form. Why don't we? Why don't we? Would you like to meet up? To meet up. To المصدر. I'd prefer to. Shall we go? Shall we go? Shall we go? بعد كده معانا general exercise on unit 1. Complete the following dialogue. Nabil is talking to his mother about his first day at school. عن يوم الأول في المدرسة. Mother, hello Nabil. How was your first day at school? فقال لها كلام but many students were absent. بس ناس كتير كان غايبة. فهو كان موافق أو راضي عن اليوم فيقول لها it was nice. فسألته سؤال قال له because of COVID-19. طب هم ليه كانوا غايبين؟ يبقى why were they absent. why were they absent. لماذا كانوا غائبين؟ نقولها مرة تانية. why were they absent. فقال لها it's very dangerous. فماذا سألته سؤال قالت له yes أو قال لها yes I have washed my hands already. طبعا قلنا لما تكون الإجابة بيس أو no يكون السؤال بفعل مساعد. فهنا هقدم المساعد اللي هو have على الفاعل اللي هو I عشان تبقى have you washed your hands. have you washed your hands. فقال لها طبعا غسلت إيديا. قالت له what did your teacher advise to do. نصحك تعمل إيه؟ قال له my teacher advised us to wear a mask. إن احنا نرتدي القناع. فقالت له do you have a mask. قال لها yes I have أو عفوا yes I do. أيوة أنا عندي yes I do. I have just taken it off. لسه خلعه حالا. بعد كده بيتكلم معانا عن قطعة هسيبها لك تحلها براحتك ولو عندك مشاكل فيها اكتب لي في التعليقات ونروح على طول ل choose the correct answer. اختر الإجابة الصحيحة. Why don't you عايزة فعل في المصدر يا شباب to my house. Why don't you come to my house. What will you do the weekend. أقول at the weekend. Alexandria is one of the most cities in Egypt I enjoy visiting at. يبقى attractive جذابة. ولا an is a place where you can borrow and read books. طبعا library المكتبة بقرأ وكمان أستعير. The place where you can see beautiful fish. Aquarium. أسئلة سهلة ووحدة سهلة جدا. That shows how to travel by metro. The map. الخريطة. To cross the canal they used a ferry. Please be when you carry these bags. Be careful. خليك حريص. When does the museum close? The museum closes. The museum does close. Does the museum closes. طبعا هقول does يبقى عايز مصدر يبقى when does the museum close. Why don't you know عفوا we don't know ما نعرفش when the next bus arrives. لكن احنا مستنيينه. Complete with the correct form يعني أكمل بالصيغة الصحيحة. When does the film you are watching end. When does the film. does the film عشان الفيلم مفرد فيبقى المساعد does. The librarian يعني عامل المكتبة أو أمين المكتبة is waiting for me to leave the library. The library closes. هتقفل. The film hasn't finished. It finishes. It finishes. We are late for the first train, so we can take the second train. It leaves after an hour. تقريبا في السؤال ده كله بيعتمد على جدول المواعيد اللي هو لازم نحطه في المضارع البسيط. complete with the correct word، اكمل بالجمله، عفوا بالكلمه الصحيحه. including station on get parts. Some people think that Sydney in Australia has the best transport in the world. Why? Because trains, buses, and ferries travels to all parts of the city. If you want to get to somewhere، لو انت عايز تروح مكان معين quickly بسرعة، fast trains leave from central station من المحطة المركزية to many places including مشتملة على the airport المطار. طيب تعال نشوف الكلمة الصحيحة ايه. the train arrives ولا will arrive؟ طبعا هختار arrive. was train arrive. my father didn't ولا doesn't take the early bus؟ هقول doesn't take the early bus. the children played indoors today because it was very hot outside. يبقى هم لعبوا indoors داخل المنزل.
أشكر لكم طيب المتابعة والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.